Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well today. If you're new here, please take a second to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our updates. Today, we are diving into something that's been making serious waves across the country, a warning from political analyst and journalist Mkhabela, who says South Africa is heading for a meltdown over illegal immigration if the government doesn't act fast. Stick with me until the end so you can hear the sources and try to verify the news for yourself. Now, this is one of those issues that just won't go away. Illegal immigration has become one of the most heated topics in South Africa, from job shortages and public health concerns to crime and strained social services. It's something that touches almost every corner of society. Mkhabela's warning comes at a time when frustration is clearly rising, and patience among citizens seems to be running out. According to him, South Africa is standing on a knife's edge. He said that years of weak border control, poor documentation systems, and corruption within immigration enforcement have created a perfect storm. The analyst pointed out that the government has failed to properly manage migration, allowing thousands of undocumented foreigners to live and work in the country without proper papers. He warned that if something drastic isn't done soon, the situation could escalate into widespread social and political instability. Mkhabela didn't mince words. He said South Africa's public services, hospitals, schools, housing, and welfare systems are under immense pressure. With unemployment still high and the economy struggling to grow, competition for jobs has become fierce. Many locals now believe that undocumented immigrants are adding to the problem, even though the issue is more complicated than it seems. He also noted that while most foreign nationals living in South Africa are peaceful, hardworking people, the lack of control at the borders allows criminal networks to thrive. This includes human trafficking, smuggling, and fraudulent documentation, activities that not only put locals at risk but also hurt genuine migrants who are just trying to survive legally. What struck many people about Mkhabela's comments was his tone of urgency. He said, "We can't keep pretending this issue will sort itself out. If the government continues to turn a blind eye, South Africa could face something far worse than protests. It could face a total breakdown of public trust." And honestly, he might have a point. We've already seen growing resentment between citizens and foreign nationals in different communities, often fueled by crime, unemployment, and misinformation. In some towns, residents have started demanding that undocumented immigrants leave or face confrontation. In others, police have been accused of profiling anyone who looks foreign. It's a tension that keeps simmering, and if not handled properly, it could boil over. Still, Mkhabela made sure to clarify that his message isn't about blaming foreigners. Instead, he said it's about accountability, about making sure that immigration laws are enforced fairly, transparently, and consistently. He believes that the government has all the tools it needs to manage the problem, but lacks the political will to act decisively. Some government officials, in response to the growing debate, have promised stronger border security and new digital systems for tracking visa compliance. But according to Mkhabela, these promises often fade once the headlines do. He urged the state to create an effective plan that balances compassion with control, meaning respect for human rights but also respect for national laws. Public reaction to his warning has been mixed. Many South Africans have taken to social media to say that Mkhabela is simply saying what everyone is thinking, that enough is enough and action is overdue. Others, however, argue that scapegoating migrants won't fix the deeper issues of unemployment, poor governance, and corruption. They say the real problem lies within the system itself, not just who's in the country, but how the country is being run. And you can't really ignore that argument. The truth is, South Africa's economic challenges didn't start with migration. Structural inequality, mismanagement, and a struggling job market have been part of the country's story for decades. But the immigration issue seems to have become the tipping point where frustration with government performance meets public anxiety about the future. One thing that Mkhabela stressed in his interview is that South Africans must learn from other countries that ignored immigration challenges until they turned into full-blown crises. He warned that xenophobia and division won't solve anything, in fact, they might make things worse. What's needed, he said, is leadership that isn't afraid to take tough, balanced decisions, protect the borders, register everyone properly, and ensure services are used fairly by all. At the same time, he called on African leaders to take collective responsibility. He argued that as long as instability, unemployment, and poverty persist in neighboring countries, migration toward South Africa will continue. It's not just a South African problem, it's a regional one. Cooperation between nations, he said, is the only sustainable way forward. Now, whether the government will listen to his warning or not remains to be seen. But if there's one thing clear from the growing public debate, it's that South Africans are losing patience. The issue of illegal immigration has moved beyond politics, it's become personal for many people who feel their livelihoods and safety are at stake. Before we wrap up, let's just take a breather, because this topic can get heavy. Someone joked online that with how things are going, maybe we should start checking passports at the taxi rank before boarding. Another person said, even my phone is tired of these debates, it wants to migrate too. Sometimes, laughter is the only way to cope with the chaos. But jokes aside, this is an issue that deserves serious attention and balanced discussion. South Africa is a country built on resilience, compassion, and justice, and those values should guide how this problem is tackled. Stronger borders, fair laws, and honest leadership, that's what Mkhabela says could stop the meltdown before it starts. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching till the end. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. And as always, let's keep the conversation respectful in the comments. Everyone has a right to their opinion, let's just use ours wisely. All images used in this video are for illustration purposes only. Sources: News 24, Times Live, The Citizen, ENCA.